So, why would somebody attend counseling is a question that a lot of people have. That's not really a simple answer. Honestly, people come to counseling for all kinds of things. There's probably the general things that people think about. Maybe somebody has depression or anxiety or anger issues, or they're having self-harm or suicidal thoughts. Maybe a family is going through a divorce and the children are in therapy. There could be a lot of those kind of reasons, but there's also just a lot of life issues that bring people to therapy. So an example would be, college kids, usually their last year or so in transitioning into new adulthood. That's usually a stressful time, and they'll come in. We see a lot of college kids that are just going through a life change. There's people, maybe a family moved, and so they're just having a little trouble adjusting to being in a new town, away from family, away from friends. So that kind of stuff happens. I mean, any kind of life change, a life stressor, anything like that, that's often a reason that people come into therapy to work through. And there's nothing too big and there's nothing too small. Honestly, there's nothing that we probably haven't heard before. I know a lot of times people are a little embarrassed to share what's going on with themselves. It's just a different thing to have to tell a stranger whatever is going on. And some people feel like, well, my problem's not as bad as somebody else's, so I shouldn't be going to therapy. And that's never the case. It really is not. There's nothing too big. There's nothing too small. Whatever is going on with somebody that is causing any kind of, unsettlement or distress in their life, that is a great time to go to therapy. We would much rather somebody come in, when they're kind of mildly not feeling great, instead of pushing that aside and waiting until maybe they're extremely depressed eventually, and then they decide, well, now it's time for therapy. Well, by that point, it's harder to get back out of it. So we really, really encourage people at the onset of something coming in that's bothering you, or, having a difficult time adjusting to, that's a great time to enter counseling. And then that way, hopefully it's a little shorter term counseling, because it's maybe easier to get back on track at that point. So why would somebody attend counseling? That could be any number of reasons. And whatever it is nothing too big, nothing too small, nothing that we would not work with, honestly. It's our jobs as therapists to work with whatever's going on, and we happily do that. And so I want people to understand that whatever it is that's going on, odds are we've probably heard it from somebody else already. And that alone helps to understand that you're not the only one going through something like this. And so whatever it is, when you feel, on that level of discomfort, perfect time. Reach out then, and hopefully you can find a great counselor and get back on track.